16, what a hell of a year. All alone out west, head to head with my fears. 16's untouched when compared to my peers. I was funneling emotions like elephant ears. This song is really about how I moved out west to learn more about music and to delve more into that without really knowing what I was getting into, without really knowing anybody, and was really just kind of vulnerable in a lot of ways. But despite all of that, as I was making this song and discovering myself through this whole process, I knew that I was quote unquote born ready, and I knew that that was what I wanted to do, and that was sort of what I was meant for.
Yeah, 16, what a hell of a year. All alone out west, head to head with my fears. 16's untouched when compared to my peers. I was funneling emotions like elephant ears.
Born Ready was the first song that I started working on for this album, and ironically enough, the last song that I finished for the record. Started working on it in January 2016, I believe. So it's been in the works for almost like 2.5 years now. At the time I was living in Los Angeles, I was going to a music academy out there, and I was not nearly the producer that I am now, or that I would eventually become. And I just remember sitting with that It's a Man's World sample by James Brown, and feeling like there was some sort of energy there that could be captured, and that I kind of matched how I had felt about moving to Los Angeles and leaving all my friends and family back in Indiana. It was a 12-hour day where I sat in my apartment from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. just trying to figure out that sample, how to chop it, how to flip it, because that song is on a 6 count, so it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you can't really rap to that. At that time, I really didn't know what I could do with it. And so I spent that whole day until I finally just had this breakthrough, and I just sort of felt myself like having a moment, like, oh, I took it up a level today with this song. And so from there, it was writing lyrics, going in, rewriting lyrics, recording, re-recording, all of that. After the production was over the course of about 2 years, to where we are at now, to where the song is a bit more simplified and more condensed, but I think it's better and both easier to listen to. So this beat as a whole is literally just 4 tracks, very simple. It's just, we've got that sample cut up. So kind of like I said before, that sample for A Man's World is originally on a 6 count, and you're originally gonna rap on a 4 count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I had to put it in that time signature. So if you actually listen to the original chops, you can hear where they sort of drag on in there, 1, 2, 3, and so I had to just kind of go in and trigger them to where a snare and a kick could fit in a traditional rap song. So that's sort of what I did for the samples for the 3 different sections. We've got our upright bass, and that's just a 4-bar loop, repeats through the whole song across all the different sections that are sampled. And from there, it's really just a kick drum that I put this delay on. So if you're listening in some nice speakers, or your car, your earbuds, you can hear that kick sort of swing back and forth. It just gives the song sort of a nice jazzy sort of swinging feel when you sort of like that. And then there's the snare with it, just gives us a nice sort of little rock there. We go in, we've got the bass with it. And that's really all that beat is right there, but it's hard as hell.
Told a man in the mirror, leap and find your wings. If them suckers don't love us, that's a dumb thing. Let them.
Really, the biggest thing for me when I'm recording is to get comfortable, and then after that, to know what I'm gonna say, know what the song is. I hate standing at a microphone with a phone in my hand or a notepad in my hand. So what you're gonna see here is really, it's not off the top, it's just I've rehearsed this stuff enough to where I know it, and I can be comfortable in these pockets to where I can bounce around, I can try different things. So my mind's pretty much freed up from the lyrics, and now I only need to focus on the creative parts of how I actually want to project my voice with it. Combs, yeah. 16, what a hell of a year. All alone out west, head to head with my fears. 16's untouched when compared to my peers. I was funneling emotions like elephant ears. Okay, that's nice, but I know some different things that we can do with it. Yeah. Turn the lights down, I'm in my zone.
Yeah, 16, what a hell of a year. All alone out west, head to head with my fears. 16's untouched when compared to my peers. I was funneling emotions like elephant ears. Yo, I tossed and I turned, the late nights I groaned. Left deaf red, I came back as Combs. Get my homies, tell them that wherever they roam, when they playin' my shit, it'll feel like home.
I'm born ready, born ready. I'm born ready, born ready.
Anybody that knows me knows that I am not a singer by any means. So this will be the only song on the album that you actually hear Combs' singing voice on. I'm just gonna kind of see if it works right now for this hook. If not, and if I sound terrible, I have no shame in sending it off to somebody I know who can kill it and do a much better job than I did. So we'll see how this goes. I've been taking my time, born ready. I've been going for mine, born ready. Born ready, born ready. Doesn't have enough soul behind it. I can't sing. I can't stay in key and put nothing behind my voice. I know who can though. I'm gonna send this off to my good friend Lana Love. She'll know what to do with this.
Wrote the manifest code, y'all, that's my shit. Left the comfort zone behind, I just could not sit. Had to
yeah, born ready. Ready for any adversary. I was getting fed up with plain and ordinary. Couldn't bear to look at my life in the cemetery and think of all the life that I left in the pulmonaries.
ready for any adversary. I was getting fed up with playing.
Okay. Let's change it a little bit. I'm going to change it a little bit. Okay. Stuff.
Born ready, ready for any adversary. I was getting fed up with plain and ordinary. Couldn't bear to look at my life in the cemetery and think of all the life that I left in them pulmonaries. Estuary flows been colder than February in a 317 where crime is customary. So my dreams on the line like Freeney, no secondary. Get what you want in this life, it's momentary. Is what I told myself.
Tossed and I turned, the late nights I groaned. Left deaf red, I came back as Combs. Get my homies, tell them that wherever they roam, when they're playing my shit, it'll feel like home. Before I started going by Combs as an artist, I was deaf red, as some people know, and some people might still even refer to me as. But while I was out there living in Los Angeles, I decided to change my name to Combs, just sort of as a nod to a lot of people from my childhood who referred to me as Combs since I was a child. So it's just sort of a nod to those people, and it's also my last name, so just letting people know who I am, what my identity is. But I hope that when those people specifically hear my music, it takes them back to times when we were young and sort of fond memories that we've had with each other. The hook to this song I really like because it's a nice juxtaposition from where I'm at in the verses, where I'm talking, and just sort of how I'm just like going hard and talking about, yeah, like I'm ready for this, I'm gonna get this is where I'm at emotionally. But then you're gonna have Lana coming in on the hook with born ready, I've been taking my time, born ready, I've been going for mine, born ready. And just sort of that calm, confident speaking on like, yeah, like this is what I am, this is what I'm meant for, and now it's time to get it. We're not gonna let anything stand in between that. So it's a very nice juxtaposition from verse to hook and back out. Anybody who knows me knows that I am a huge sports fan. So you hear some big sports references in this song. In the second verse, I say, so my dreams on the line like Freeney, no secondary. Obviously a nod right there to Colts great Dwight Freeney, who unfortunately never really got to play with a good secondary behind him in Indianapolis. There's the line where I say, had to rise like a phoenix to net like Jay Kidd when Jason Kidd was traded from the Suns to the Nets. In the room I reside, you won't find no wigs. Find freedom that'll ring like Mike in 6. Obviously Michael Jordan famous for winning 6 championships, winning them in 6 games. So yeah, I always just try to pack my lines full of some little punchlines, pop culture, sports references like that. The last 2 lines of the song are actually my favorites. Had dreams that the rhymes was helping the family eat. Since I was tapping a fork on a counter to keep the beat, I was ready. I wrote those lines probably 5 or 6 years ago, to be honest, for another song that I had recorded, and they've always just kind of stuck with me and have tried to find where they might fit, and I just feel like they really do fit on this song, this Born Ready. You know, it goes back to when I would sit in the lunchroom with my friends and just sort of tapping with that fork right on the countertop. It just sort of goes back to that childhood essence and that raw emotion like that.
That's what it is right there, baby. Combs, Lana Love, Manifest Code. You want something, go get it. Peace.